A lot of mesh pockets done tonight. Gray small, large gray, Typhon Royal, Typhon Red, Woodland Fanny packs, red pelter wraps, Tiff blue zippered knife pouches, knife extenders. You want to run a fixed blade knife or some gear you want to drop down just a little bit under your armor. Knife extenders. Sleepy Joe zippered knife pouches. More sand socks. EOD crimper tool pouches. What's up? Kroll, what's up, man? Kilo Bravo 6, how are you? Molina, what's up? Chuck Equals, how are you? How are you? How are you? Byron, what's up? Jared Bryan, what's up? Matt Christopher, how are you? Amanda, what's up? Tiger Paw, what's up? Crazy off-roader. What do you off-road, man? What's your primary off-road vehicle? Eagle 350. Josh, what's up, man? How are you? How are you? Tool pods. $34 on here, guys. I need you to boost that like up. We got 16 likes there. I need you to hit that little like button. If you back out of the comments, it'll show you where you can like that. Tiger paw. I have a lion's paw. Iridium, what's up, man? Liked and shared, thank you guys. Shared is important. Shared is important. Do not clamp from the sides. Can you see how big this is? Look. Bama Dad, what's up? Cameron Graham, sorry, I forgot to sign in this one. Crazy off-roader, no worries at all, bro. What do you off-road, man? Like what's your vehicle? Like I'm not talking shit to you at all. Like I'm serious. Like what do you off-road? Everlasting Action Jackson, what's up? All right, guys, I think I'm a little tired. I'm about to go eat watermelon. Just thought I'd jump on here for a minute. So if the conversation's good, we can have a conversation about anything you want. If you do a V2 on the tool apron, I found a couple of things would be nice. Yeah, I think it needs to be deeper for the pockets. Lynn, what's up? I think the hammer loop needs to be a little bigger. I have the Speed UTV ordered, but have the Razor and the kids race the KTM. Oh, awesome, man. Awesome. 2-seat Razor, 4-seat Razor. Running Nuke Sniffer planes on the East Coast all week. So, Draven, where are you hearing that? Probably from Monkey Works, right? They've been doing that for, and I'm not saying they're not doing it. Absolutely, I'm sure something's going on. But they always run Nuke Sniffer planes. They have been for quite some time now. Watermelon sounds fire. I'm about to smash 2 frozen pizzas. So I had a little bit of it wasn't frozen. I had a little pizza left over from Rock and Dough. I had artichoke, pepperoni, green olive. And Amanda gets one and then pulls all the toppings off. That's just whole, like, cloves of garlic and white for dinner, along with some lamb. Jeremy made some fucking awesome lamb. I have 2 options for watermelon. I've got cold watermelon, and I have not cold watermelon. So I'll be doing some of that. Salmon, how are you? pocket be able to hold a speed square. Yeah, yeah. Use the tool apron a lot more than I ever anticipated. What was your favorite thing that I did today? I guess this morning, man, I had a really, really good workout this morning. Cardio was good. I'm tired. Like I haven't slept a lot. Got up super early Sunday. Got up even earlier this morning, and then I did a ton of shit yesterday outside. Nothing jumps out as fun today. Just a lot of stuff done. Had a machine down. Had a guy come in and work on the machines. Did an awesome job, but mine wasn't fixed. So I had to spend about an hour figuring out how to tune my machine, which I did, and it's outside listening to new shortwave radio here, Radio Havana, Cuba. Very cool. What'd you go with? What do you have for a short wave radio? Chuck Peoples, yes, I have some black knife hangers here. Right here. Unable to buy any good sweet watermelons this summer. They're all just not that good. Put salt on them. I know this one will sound crazy too. Try pepper. Try squeezed lime juice and chili powder. I was standing in line years and years ago, and I was just in checkout at Walmart or something, and there was one of those women's magazines, and they were talking about watermelon, and one of them was black pepper and lime juice, and it just stuck in my head, and I tried it, and it's really good. Unable to buy, we read that outside listening. Did you say you had a knife? Grilled a couple steaks today, turned out perfect. Josh, I have no doubt that whatever you cooked turned out perfect, bro. Cold watermelon with salt. Yeah, and I like coarse sea salt, right? I put it on the coarsest grind. I like the big chunk. Like when I eat watermelon with salt, I want the salt to be like rock salt, right? Candy, like rock candy. Chili powder on watermelon after you had mentioned before it was very good. Right on. I miss Josh's hammer. Yeah, I miss Josh. I miss Josh. A lot of times, I know when Josh started working here, he thought like I was in the kitchen checking up on him or whatever. I just wanted to hang out where Josh was. So I got a new, I got another freezer right here, and it's big. It's much taller than I am. I'm sure it's not as tall as this box, but it's big. So I have a commercial. It's not really a chest freezer. It's a commercial ice cream freezer, right? Sliding top. It's big, and we used it for several years, and then it broke. So my boy warrantied the parts out, fixed it. We plugged it in. It was cold, and I left it running for a couple months. And I went to put a bunch of stuff in it the other day, and it was 120 degrees inside. It was hotter inside than it was outside. So got an upright. I really like the uprights. You can get things in and out of them easier. I know everybody swears by chest freezers, but floor space is my issue, and I can have a lot more cubic feet of freezer space if I have vertical. So I have a ton of rabbits right now that we are feeding, and if I kill them and just put them in the freezer, because we use them for dog food, then I can cut my feed bill, and everything's about dollars. When you start raising animals, or you start doing production, or you start doing business, you look at everything as how much, number one, what's your labor per minute cost, and then what's your, anything, right? So the rabbits are not getting any larger, and if I just kill them all, bag them up individually, throw them skin and everything, throw them right in the freezer, then I can just pull those out the night before. Every night I can pull a couple of those out, and then they'll defrost overnight, and I can just feed them to the dogs in that manner. But the important piece of all of that is right now I'm going through over a bag of rabbit feed a week, probably every 5 days. So, and what does that cost? The truth is, I don't even know what a bag of rabbit feed costs right at this point, but I'll bet it's 25, 35 bucks. What brand freezer? So, Tom, the truth is, I don't know what the fuck's in there. It says it's from Thailand, I think. Home Depot, I think it came from Home Depot. Upright, much easier to store, organize. Yeah, yeah. Just got me a puppy. He's a German Shepherd, black and tan. Coon dog, 75 Shepherd, right on. No, upright is the way to go. You're right. Floor space is key, especially for as many freezers as we have. The next thing is walk-in cooler, and I know we've talked about that, Josh. But where the walk-in cooler needs to go is not where I want it to go. It needs to go on that slab right out here where that door used to be in this wall, where the aquaponics is, which means we need to move. It's a big evolution. It's not just the walk-in freezer. Better make sure because Thailand. Witherspoon, what's up, man? Dude, that sucks about the Caterpillar tractor skid steer. Upright, much easier to store, organized chest. I have both. Yeah, we got both. I use uprights for birds and bulk items. I use chest for M6 for my beef and pork that I raise and process. Split the freezer down the middle. Right on. Did you see Russia shot down one of its own bombers? I did not see that, man. I did not see that. I saw Russia turned off all the gas to Germany. Can you fucking blame them? I think we are the bad guy here, right? And by we, I don't mean any of you or me. Malt vinegar, black pepper, strawberries taste sweeter. Huh. I would not have thought that. Tajin on watermelon, I've seen that before. Got Texan PL368. Small, has side band. Good for bug out bag. Very cool. I have a Sony with a reel antenna, right? It's like a little fishing reel that you wind up with your finger. Art Bell used to really push these things all the time. And he didn't even have affiliate codes or discounts or anything. Like, he really believed in these things. So I have a couple of those. Libertarian non-aggression principle, right? Leave me the fuck alone. If you don't do anything negative that doesn't affect me or mine or little kids, we don't care what you do. Smart ad 2010. Thank you. Thank you. How was everybody's day? How was everybody's day? So did you guys see that some Amish, and I don't know how long ago this happened, right? Because a lot of times when you see reporting on YouTube channels, it's usually happened like weeks ago or months ago, and they're just now hearing about it. So I don't know what the date on the original reporting was, but some Amish farmer, somebody, FDA came in and said, hey, you can't do this because you don't have refrigeration. So apparently he brought in refrigerated semi-truck boxes, and then they came in and wanted to see his shit, and he's basically like, hey, pound sand. The judge sent U.S. Marshals and authorized any force necessary, basically, is how it read. And they have come in and they're harassing these Amish. The FDA are really, really going after alternate sources of meat. If you really research it, all of your meat companies, at least in the United States, they're all owned by 8 companies. And if you really dig through those, most of those companies are also held by the same people. We just sold a ton of our pig farms and pig processing companies to China. And then we just sold, did you hear we sold a bunch of paper mills also? A bunch of paper mills. China bought them, disassembled them, and took them out of the United States. Had the honor to put someone fully to sleep tonight. Great Wolf, he was in here. He was actually excited about that. 7 new baby pigs, right on. Any update with a diaper bag? So there are no diaper bags coming. The way you get a diaper bag is you email me and tell us what diaper bag you need, and then we'll communicate with you. We're building them one at a time, I believe, and I'm not sure if it has happened yet. The conversation happened this morning. I believe there are 2 or 3 diaper bags that were being cut today or this week. I don't see any diaper bags. Large camo, large clothes. Typhon diaper bag right there. So we're only and we're not building extras. So that's what a lot of the stuff that's locked down. If you want stuff that we don't have, send an email and we can discuss it at that point. Smart Ad 2010. What diaper bag did you have on order? Are you the dude that was like, hey, I'll take OD or Typhon, and I think there was another color in there too. Paper mills, transitioning to China for years now. I used to work for one. Terrible market. I have an Eaton and Sea Crane. Sea Crane, yes. I remember Art Bell talking about Sea Crane all the time. Building a new shed, that's very cool. I love how you talk about the non-aggression principle and anarchism. So it's become embedded in me, but it really is me repeating things that I've listened to over and over, right? And Jack Spirko speaks about that quite a bit. And I've listened, I really don't listen to all of Jack's stuff anymore. He has so much content, and I'm consuming other content and just really busy building our own content. But I do listen to Jack quite a bit. If it pops up in my feed in the morning, I definitely listen on YouTube while he's doing the lives. And then when I'm outside, I used to have really, really good service here, and I could listen to most anything. But now when I'm outside, a lot of times I can't listen even to podcasts unless they're downloaded. So if I'm outside and I finish listening to whatever I'm listening to, that's usually when I would listen to the podcast on the app, like when I'm mowing or just doing whatever I'm doing outside. And it kind of grounds me, right? That's why I intentionally do not look at any like luxury goods items, because I'll go chase those, I'll start buying stuff, and I'll lose focus on achievable, things that I want to accomplish. Opening a package of USA Badassery this moment. Nalgene and Utility, very cool. Sea Crane was Art Bell's main sponsor in the 90s. I met Art Bell several times. We built him a black AK-47 rig, and he bought a Glock 17 holster and some slings and a few other little things. We used to see him in Las Vegas at the Soldier of Fortune convention. Do you like any of the duck breeds you have, or you hate any of them? I have 4, but was going to get 20 or so to butcher out before Thanksgiving. Ducks. So I haven't ever processed ducks. What I know about ducks is you want to do them, I think, at around 16 weeks. Then they have like their adult feathers come in, which require quite a bit more work to process, I believe. Now, that's me repeating things that I think I've heard. I have not actually processed ducks. I have a lot of expensive pets, right? If you have animals that are not producing for you and you're not utilizing, then you have pets. And I have a lot of pets. And this year, for some reason, no other year, we had baby ducks at the old shop once, and we haven't had them like the 6 years we've been on this property until this year. And now all of a sudden I've got 20 extra ducks. I got some beautiful, they're like greenhead Rowans. I've got these black and white ducks also that are very, very pretty. But they make a mess. Like they're burrowing holes. They nest down in the grass and make these, they just kill the grass. They eat the grass right there so that they get down to the raw dirt. They just make a mess. A backpack sprayer, any recommendations? So get an electric one. It's the first thing I would tell you, get electric. Get you a Steel or a Husqvarna. There's some, get something commercial grade is what I would tell you. Get something that has a metal or an aluminum tube, the wand, and get something with a brass adjustable spray nozzle. But definitely get something commercial. Now, I've had electric sprayers from Walmart, and as soon as I put it on, I'm like, oh my God, how have I missed this my entire life? But when you go to a commercial one, they just last so much better. Your Walmart ones have like a plastic wand that'll bend. They are made to disintegrate. Whereas if you get a commercial sprayer, now the difference is you're going to pay 100, 120 bucks for like a electric Walmart one. A commercial one, you're going to pay upwards of 350 for it, but you get what you pay for. Don't leave them in the sun. The Husqvarnas, I have 2 of them that I'm currently using now. They have way upgraded shoulder straps. They are very nice. They're comfortable. Ducks are super disgusting. I still want to go eat them though. Yeah, no problem. No problem. Process 2 ducks, tons of feathers. Clog up the plucker, but the process similar to the chicken. So the thing with ducks is duck confit, right? I think that's what it's, you want the skin. You want that duck fat. So you want to pull the feathers. Now, it would be a lot easier if you just skinned the duck and, you know, take the skin with the feathers with the skin, but that negates and prohibits you from using that duck fat, which you want. You want the duck fat. So what's the solution? The solution is that you process the bird at a younger age. Always try to empty the tank on the sprayer. Yes. So I'm running a 5-gallon or 4.5 gallon sprayer. And typically when I spray weeds on the property, I go through 2, if not 3 tanks. So if I have extra in my pack, I'll go and respray some of the stuff I've already sprayed to use it up. And then I always freshwater rinse it. I put a little water in it, just maybe a gallon of water, and I pump. So I pump for 10, 15, 20 seconds. So it's spraying pretty clear water through this backpack sprayer, so that it's just not gumming everything up, the intake and everything. Still another brand of sprayer. Been using an electric backpack sprayer, white hopper, green lid. Battery powered, amazing backpack. It's too pricey though. I use it all day. It sounds like it's the deal, man. I truly believe that you get what you pay for with most of those things. For the normal homeowner, let's be real. Harbor Freight tools are fine for the normal homeowner. I don't ever look at myself as the normal homeowner. I look at it as I want to buy this once, and I want my great grandkids to be able to use that shit should they need to. Duck eggs, yes, duck eggs. They're definitely bigger. Battery will be 1 or 2 bars down from 6 bars at the end of a 10-hour day. So I'm definitely not running a sprayer for 10 hours. When I spray, I run between 60 minutes and 90 minutes. Do you ever use solar lights? Some places clearing them out now got solar motion lights. So I do, Tom. I do use solar lights. We'll look out here, and I often wonder, right? So I have solar lights and LED lights out in my garden area, and I often wonder if I'm not attracting bugs to my garden by doing so. So the illumination in the row house is solar lights. There's a solar light right there. There's solar lights tucked through here. I just think they look pretty. But it's weird that I did just notice that there are no bugs out here right now, which is very weird. So, and the thing with your solar lights is, be aware, when you have your solar lights, those are rechargeable AAAs typically inside. They're Pakistani or Chinese batteries, right? They're trash batteries. They're the shit batteries. So get you some decent rechargeables, and you'll just be able to recharge those things should you need to. Or put a decent brand in there. put a decent brand battery in there, and they'll last a lot longer than the trash batteries. But typically when that light stops charging, it's the batteries have corroded inside, or they just don't hold charge anymore. I have recently moved to pale blue earth batteries. They're definitely more expensive, but so far so good. And I like that they, to charge them, they have USB ports on the battery. And then I've also got, you know, rechargeables like these, the Duracells and stuff. You can buy those, and they come with a kit, right? They come with AA's and AAA's now. You can buy those at Sam's Club or Costco. I like the solar lights too. I use those in my yard. MD, what's up? Lesco used to make a wonderful product, but you have to go to a specialty commercial dealer. Yellow lights help with bugs and spiders, but sacrifice visibility. Duck is delicious, and the fat and skin is the best part. That's Josh that had said that. Ryan Ray, what's up? Old high-pressure sodium lights in my yard. Always had bugs around it. The new LED light doesn't seem to attract bugs. Huh. Bugs are attracted to spectrum. I don't... My point to that conversation, like that big LED light overhead, it's usually swarmed in bugs. It's not tonight. I don't know why. Maybe it's because we had rain last night. All right, guys. Last minute comments, questions, gear you want to see. I do see that there are still a few of these larger IFACs sitting here. Yeah, the rain was good. I'll take about 10 times more of that rain. I had some water in the swales. By no means were they full nor overflowing. Any H harnesses? No, you got to order an H harness. While yes, there are a couple sitting here, you have to order an H harness, plan for it, you know, plan a couple weeks. Sometimes they ship in a day or two. Sometimes they ship in a couple weeks. Order whatever color you want. We have hundreds of them cut. When the orders come through tomorrow morning, we take those orders, put them in the appropriate bins, set them on this sewing machine, and within a day or two, lo and behold, H harnesses show up on the table here. Here's the stuff that was built in the last couple hours of the day. This is what finished up here. And then through the day, the work that's up here usually gets pulled. So I've got zippered knife pouches, TIFF blue. I've got red, black pelters, knife extenders, all kinds of different mesh Velcro back pockets, multicam sand socks, random 1s and 2s to ship orders out. I've got Woodland Fanny packs. I love this thing. I wear these as a crossbody bag. I actually built this because I wanted this. This is what I've been running. You can put a Glock 19 in there. Barely. I mean, the Glock will go in there, but it's not made really for carrying a gun. I designed it, built it. It's got some internal pockets for carrying extra GoPros, a lot of extra GoPro batteries, a lot of lithium AA's, and several flashlights. Hadn't rained in Texas in 2 years. I had not heard that. Did Amanda get her Jeep in bright pink? No. Bear Independent mentioned a launch pad program during Self-Reliance Festival to help families from outside the area set up a homestead in a more friendly area. Do you know where to look? Smart. I do not, man. I do not know about that. Texas drought. H harnesses get made pretty quick. They usually do, yeah. Multicam black, large tool bags, please. Send me an email. I feel like we just made some of those. Like within the last 6 weeks, I think we did a batch of multicam black tool bags. Just tapping in. Did you talk about the guy who shot the active shooter 22-year-old? No, I didn't. No, everybody's talking about him. We mentioned it yesterday. Fucking awesome. More power to him. The crazy shit is the way some of the media are spinning this, right? Not only the media, but BLM, like, spinning some of this shit. GB, what's up? Smart ad, thank you. Heard today it hasn't rained in Texas in 2 years. Are those large mesh royal blue pouches? They are, yeah. Large mesh, royal blue, Typhon, royal blue. Very nice. So if you have a bag, you know, and you want a matchy match when you open the bag, there you go. There they are. Southeast Texas, and we get rain all the time from the Gulf. Lunch bag, my wife loves it. Right on. Hey Matt, where are you guys? Like, what are you doing? Are you working on the school? Is it like a Boy Scout thing you guys are doing? Like, what do you do? I keep seeing the pictures, but I'm not clear as to what you guys are doing. Tay Jones, what's up? Made some tool bags recently. I just thought you had a large one that's a bit bigger than the one I bought. Maybe we did small ones, maybe, or we just call it a tool bag, right? We have a tool bag and a large tool bag. Maybe there's a town in West Texas or something that hasn't had rain. I don't know. I would like a little more rain. Let's say here's the real question, right? What's the winter going to look like? Because a lot of times they're polar opposite, right? I'm starting to see posts from guys that, you know, winter is coming. And I agree with you. Winter's always coming. It's been a little hot to be outside preparing for winter. But today was definitely, I'm very stoked for 85-degree weather instead of 95 or 100. Another couple months though, like we'll really be cutting tons of wood, processing tons of wood, and putting tons of wood away, and addressing more wood burning capacities, setting up our wood burning system for the row house. But what's the winter going to look like? What's the almanac saying the winter's going to look like? 110 in Dallas, nuts. Working on fixing up a trailer for a family. We try not to take too many pictures of the client's house. The school is where we stay. Got it, okay. I feel like winter this year is going to be bad. I do too. And I see the post and I'm like, oh, they're watching Game of Thrones or whatever, which I enjoyed. I actually got HBO to watch Game of Thrones while it was on. And we watched a season or two. Brian, I'm doing good, man. I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. Thoughts on Biden's fist bump? Sandy, I have no idea. I don't know. I didn't see it. While I love to make fun and talk about stuff like that, I'm trying to really stick to the no drama. If I can't change it, I'm not putting headspace into it. And if it doesn't affect me directly, and I can't change it, right? So while I spend time on that, I think like when you go to bed, the last few things you were thinking about, that's what's going to be in your head when you wake up. I'll bet the winter here in South Texas is going to be very mild. That's a good thing, right? What would you freeze dry more? Protein. If we're paying to run, and a lot of people, when you run a business, I think of everything as cost per minute. It's not cost per hour, not man hour. I remember as a child, the guys from Top Gun, we were at Miramar, and the kids they were telling the kids, for every hour that an F-14 flies, it requires 14 man hours of maintenance. And that stuck with me my entire life. And then as a business person, paying employees, I break everything, especially if it's my time, right? What does my time cost if you're honest with yourself? A lot of people that do things as hobbies or in lieu of paying somebody else to do them, right? I always see these posts like, who does this thing for a reasonable cost? I'm never looking for the fucking reasonable cost guy, because the reasonable cost guy, he knows he's not the best, so he has to have a reasonable cost in order to have enough business. I'm never looking for that dude. And I look at everything as cost per minute for my time, right? So yeah, I could not pay the dude $100 to come in and do whatever it is he does. But what could I make in that time doing what I do? That's how I look at things. So freeze dry, that's where I was going. I had to look back and see what I was even talking about. Freeze dryer. And it's not just about the electricity it costs to run the machine. It's about the time. If we're going to process something and put it in here, how many calories does it have? What kind of protein does it have? And the protein's the big thing, right? I have 100,000 pounds of rice. I don't know how much rice I have. I have a ridiculous amount of rice. Not this rice, right? But that's calories. Oatmeal, rice, beans. It's the meat that we want. It's the protein. So chicken breast and hamburger are the two least expensive to purchase. They're fast. And we cook everything protein-wise before it gets freeze-dried. Because if we have to use that stuff in the future, fuel, you're going to want to conserve fuel. If it gets to the point where we're eating freeze-dried food on a regular basis, then there's probably no more natural gas coming. There's no more propane coming, right? And if you have to cook open fire, smoke and smell. So we cook everything, we season it, and then we bag it up. We're really getting to the point where we're probably going to put it in buckets, but everything we've done thus far, we've done these little pop-up pouches. And then we fill them into big plastic bins, and the big plastic bins stack on top of each other. So if we're putting the time, if we're putting the manpower in, and we're running the machine, and then wear and tear on the machine too, right? You have to figure those have probably a finite hour amount of runtime before you have to do some kind of work to them. So what is that? And we're processing protein if we're running the machine. Kudzu everywhere, upstate. Yeah, we do here too. Luckily not here. Mild winters, like we have in South Texas, doesn't kill off certain bugs. Oh, got it. Fiance and I are looking to buy one of those vacuum food sealer things, thinking one from Costco. I would not get the one from Costco. I would look into a chamber vacuum sealer. Josh, do you have any input on that? The one from Costco is Food Saver, right? They're trash, man. They got those stupid bags with them, the roll of bags. And you don't have to buy a VacMaster. But I'm telling you, instead of the $150, $200 machine, if you can get yourself into $600, $700, this one here I think is $1,600. These don't just vacuum seal your meat, right? So think of the stuff from Costco and Walmart and those vacuum sealers. Think of those as 6 months to a year if you're lucky. These right here, you're 3 years. The bags are thicker. We buy bags in bulk, 1,000 at a time. We get them from Webstaurant or Uline. Webstaurant has their own line. It's a copy of these that costs less. They didn't have it at the time, so I bought the name brand from them, and I was in a hurry. I paid an extra $450 to have it shipped here next day. A semi-truck pulled up with this the very next day after I ordered it. But this will also infuse your meat. So if you put your meat in a bag in marinade and you run the chamber vacuum sealer, which it's about a 5-second process probably, it will marinate your stuff immediately. It will infuse, and because it has a vacuum to it, it will pull any of the liquid into whatever's in there. So like you could do marinated onions, you could do beets, you could do anything immediately with it. And these will also do jars. They'll suck all the air. Buy a chamber vacuum. You can find them for $400 now. Good info. Kudzu tastes like sweet peas. Makes really good salad. Kudzu everywhere here in North Georgia has some good medicinal properties. What do you think the return on a freeze dryer is compared to buying freeze dried meat? How many pounds before it pays off? Well, LW Jacks, I don't know the answer to that. Figure out what can you buy chicken for, right? You can go to Sam's Club and we buy 20 pounds of chicken. I want to say it's still like $2.50 a pound for Tyson, which we all know Tyson's the devil, right? That's terrible quality, full of hormones and antibiotics. But we're talking the end of the world, right? And really, it's probably better than what a lot of people, 90% of the United States, is eating. It's, you know, it's better than the inner aisles of the grocery store. So Tyson, and then you can put, I want to say we can run 20 pounds in the freeze dryer. If Amanda's on, she'll chime in, but I want to say we can put 20 pounds of chicken in there. And it's about a 32 to 38 hour cycle, right? Now, if you were buying chicken, a number 10 can of chicken, and I've looked at a lot of it in the last couple days here, a number 10 can of chicken is selling for $100. We used to buy them for 36. There's dudes selling bags of chicken, like 1 pound stand-up bags of chicken, for $79. And they seem to be flying off the shelf with it. Fiance and I are looking to buy one of those. Okay, there we go. Custom Centric. What's up? Hey, what do you do? What is Custom Centric? So I guess I'll go ahead and tell you guys. There's a Strider coming. We should have them maybe tomorrow. They're all red. All the artwork is inlaid in black. The other side, the slab, is laser engraved. And both sides of the blade is laser engraved. It's pretty badass. They are S&Gs, which is a little bit smaller ones. And I think I have 23 coming. Pre-orders tonight. Your gear is bomb. Thank you, Pure Evil Bandit. Custom rifles. Very cool, man. Very cool. Kudzu prepared various ways. So I would rather not have kudzu within 1,000 miles of me. And I would rather grow sweet potatoes. I can use the greens like spinach. Water hyacinth, we have a lot of water hyacinth growing very well. And you can use water hyacinth as animal feed also. Ever worked out with just resistance bands? What do you think of that? So I warm up with resistance bands every morning. And yeah, if you've ever been to any bodybuilding shows, pre-stage and pre-contest, they'll use pretty much, you know, lightweight, and you'll see a lot of resistance bands, tons of resistance bands backstage. I'm going to walk back here and show you my resistance bands. That's the thing, I think, right? If you're asking opinions or questions, I should be able to show you, right? And if I can't show you, then I probably shouldn't speak on it. I mean, I'll always tell you, hey, this is what I think, or this is what I know. And I used all of these resistance bands right here this morning. And I used most of these resistance bands here this morning, right here. And these are Elite FTS. And you can even get them on Amazon. You can buy a set that comes with like 5 different widths and thicknesses, right? Different pressure ratings. And then Amanda even does kickbacks with a cuff and these right here for, you know, glutes and hams and stuff. I use these. I think these are great. The perfect push-ups. I finished off this morning buys, tries, 20 rep sets, 5 sets each, just as a finisher. If anybody's, so I bought this cage because it's a Smith machine, right? I have some chest. I have some pec and shoulder issues. So I bought this cage here because it's safe. You're not going to twist or torque, and you're in line in the plane. But this machine not only goes up and down, you can squat with it. It'll go forwards and backwards also. But I'm getting rid of this cage. If anybody's interested in it, I'm going to list this for sale. I'm going to put it up at $2,500, and we're going to replace this with a Rogue rack. Just because I want the colored rack I want the red and black one. And when I bought that, I didn't have all the hammer strength. I now have a lot of hammer strength, which is independent and stays in line. So it's very safe. And if you have injuries, it works for that very well. Thanks for the tip on the M1 Grand Rig last time. Looked and they were locked out when on a whim you said and got one. Right on. How much was that cage? I paid $2,500 for the cage. How much are those cages? I don't know. I'll bet they're $3,600 to $5,000. But if you look online on eBay, they're all $2,500 and more, and you're going to have to pay shipping on them. And to palletize that, and there's some great equipment on eBay, but there's this fucking asshole. He's out of like Chicago, and his shit never sells. He has great equipment. I would buy it. He wants a fucking ridiculous amount of money to ship it and palletize it, and the dude's just a fucking asshole. So his shit's been, I have followed and I watch the gear every couple weeks for sale on eBay and Marketplace. And this dude has had the same shit listed for like 5 years. R37, where are you located at? This breaks down too. Like when we moved it, we disassembled it. We've actually moved it a couple of times. We've disassembled it. So we can definitely take it apart for you and put all the bolts in the bags and tape the bags to the part that it goes to and everything. What are you doing to control small snails and grasshoppers in your garden beds? All of my garden beds are raised beds. When I water, occasionally I will see a grasshopper, and I usually crush it. A lot of times they just go to the ground and I just step on them. As far as snails, the snails are never up in the beds. Not been an issue. If anything, my soil is becoming hydrophobic. So I'll water, and it'll just be pissing out the bottom, right? I'll leave the hose in there for a couple minutes. But what I find is when I dig down a couple inches, the soil's bone dry. KCMO, Kansas City. Tech 9, copper tape keeps snails off. Yeah, there's all kinds of shit you can do for snails. I'm lucky I don't have to mess with it. A lot of people will tell you ducks will eat your snails, and they will. They'll also fucking destroy your garden. Is that multicam black wallpaper? No, it's plywood, which when we started buying the plywood, it's like that chipboard, when we started buying it was 15 a sheet, and then it went up to 30, then it was 45, and then the other half of the garage, when we did like 2/3 of the garage, it was 65 a sheet. And that's Cordura. We actually laid rolls of Cordura on the ground, rolled them out, put the plywood down, folded one edge up, stapled it in, and then stood on the Cordura and kicked the plywood forward to really tension it, and then pulled the other edge up, stapled it, and then brought the sides, the long sides in and did the same thing, stapled one side, kicked the board to tension it, pulled the other side, and then we worked the corners. So there was a ton of fucking work done to do these. And Tim and Matt did all of this, and I did the bottom rows on this. Zena and I and Zena and I did most. Amanda helped me with quite a few of them as well. The first ones Amanda and I did. I build or put everything above the duck's head so they won't bother. Well, you would know, buddy. How are you, man? Best method of cooking meats for nutrition retention before freeze drying, boiling or grilling. So we cut everything up and cube it basically raw. And then Amanda puts it in big pans and cooks 2 or 3 big skillets at a time and simmers those and then puts taco seasoning. And we use taco seasoning. We buy whole flats of taco seasoning at Sam's Club. What's the freeze dryer? Harvest Right freeze dryer. Harvest Right. Custom. It does look good. My friend he was 50% owner in ATAX. So just to show him some love, and they were doing stuff for us. They were sharing a lot of our social media, and we had a good relationship. So we did that wall in Ghost, and he's no longer with the company. I don't have any kind of real relationship with them anymore. And to do it over, I really think that we're going to strip all of this down, one panel at a time, and do the whole thing in multicam black, which was my thought from the beginning. I should have just gone with my gut and just done it that way. Try adding a wetting agent like soap nuts to your water. Help reduce hydrophobic nature of your soil. Water it slowly after application. Regular water will absorb much better. Right on. Right on. Good info. All right, guys. Last comments. What can we do for you? The Jeep truck. I saw a cool one yesterday. I saw that. That's just a skit Amanda and I do. Mostly what she says is true. She believes that, right? It's like a chick with a dick. It's not a truck or a Jeep. But the reality is I don't want a Jeep. I've ridden in Jeeps. They run like shit, especially on the interstate. I know the wheelbase is longer. We could have anything we want, and we have what we want. The Jeep truck stuff is just something funny, right? We can use the hashtags when we do it. Guys come and look, and they're like, oh, these tool bags are cool. Do we have problems with Japanese beetles? In the years past, we have. And I would go out several times a day in the four-wheeler. And if you ever had Japanese beetles around, you know that they're constantly mating. There's like 2 or 3 crawling on top of each other all the time. So you can grab them and crush them. But what happens is as soon as you vibrate the tree, a bunch of others take off, and then you have to come back when they've come back. So you want to know what the fix is for it? Last year, I went out, and we had grapes come up last year, wild grapes, and they were all over those, and they were not all over our peach trees as much, which is kind of odd. So last year I had a cordless vacuum cleaner, like a dust buster, and I'd vacuum them up in that. This year, I'm using this thing right here. It'll run for hours. It's got super suction, and I vacuumed them up in that. And it doesn't vibrate the tree. It literally sucks them right off of the vines and into there. But they're not as bad this year as they were a couple years ago. And I really believe it's because I've killed so many of them. I believe they lay their eggs in the soil and they hatch the following year. Sandy Phillips, absolutely. Use a shop vac. And I'll tell you, these portable shop vacs, whatever brand you like, DeWalt's got one. We've got Milwaukee, and I've got the 18 volt, and I've got the 12 volt. The 12 volt has a smaller diameter tubing, and it actually has more suction. This is the 18 volt. It works awesome. Works great. I've given these as gifts. I've got 2 of them myself. They're awesome. John, mosquitoes. They're terrible. I haven't noticed the mosquitoes being very bad, and I've got a lot of water on the property now. biggest issue, they're eating your grape leaves. So we left those vines there because we're going to graft in muscadines and some other grapes to that existing rootstock. Use a shop vac. Get you a cordless shop vac. Doesn't have to be anything crazy. I mean, let me see if I can find it. I don't even know where that thing went. I have literally like a Walmart handheld shop vac. There's the bracket for it. I don't know where it's gone to. Because as soon as we brought in these other vacuums, we just been using those. But you can go to Walmart. I think it's like 50, 60 bucks. You can buy this modern day dustbuster looking thing. Would you get a Land Cruiser FJ40? Like a real one? Like a real one with a 350 motor in it? No, I don't like retro shit. I mean, I like the idea of retro shit. But the reality is, you're going to spend more money making that FJ Cruiser into an equivalent modern day rig. I mean, yes, end of the world, awesome. Africa, awesome. But you still have 1980s heat and air. You still have 1980s wiper blades. You still don't have power windows. Like I've never looked at an FJ Cruiser and thought I wanted one of those. I want more room, right? So I had a badass K5 Blazer. I wanted more room, built a Suburban. Trap bags work great. I see a lot of people saying that. Beetle bags, they pile up. I see a lot of people saying that, yeah. I've also seen people saying that it attracts more. Figured out the reason flies don't get out of the vacuum. Beats them to death. Yeah, I could see that. Forerunner forever. All right, guys. I'm out of here. You guys have a great night.